वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, everybody. So we will continue with the Bhishma stuti. Okay. So yesterday last class we did the introduction and we also started with first verse. Today we will continue from the second verse. So it starts with 32nd verse. Okay. First canto, 9th chapter, 32nd verse. And we finished that last class. Today we will do the 33rd verse. Hare Krishna. Okay, please repeat. Okay, all of you unmute and repeat after me.
Sure, Mataji.
Yeah, I'll first sing the whole shloka, then you can repeat after me. त्रिभुवनकमनं तमालवनं रविकरगौरवराम्बरं दधाने वपुरलककुलव्रताननाब्जं विजयसखेस्तु मे अन्वद्या। Repeat after me. त्रिभुवनकमनं तमालवर्णम् रविकरगौरवराम्बरं दधाने वपुरलककुलव्रताननाब्जम् विजयसखेरतिरस्तु मे अनवद्या। Hare Krishna. Thank you. Translation: Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the Tamala tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitive results. Puppet, who wants to read?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You just scroll down. Yeah.
Hmm.
When Sri Krishna, by his own internal pressure, appears on earth, he does so by the agency of his internal potency. The attractive features of his transcendental body are desired in all the three worlds, namely the upper, middle, and the lower planetary systems. Nowhere in the universe are there such beautiful bodily features as those of Lord Krishna. Therefore, his transcendental body has nothing to do with anything materially created. Arjuna is described here as the conqueror, and Krishna is described as his intimate friend. Bhishma Deva, on his bed of arrows after the battle of Kurukshetra, is remembering the particular dress of Lord Krishna, which he put on as the driver of Arjuna's chariot. While fighting was going on between Arjuna and Bhishma, Bhishma's attraction was drawn by the glittering dress of Krishna, and indirectly he admired his so called enemy Arjuna for possessing the Lord as his friend. Arjuna was always a conqueror because the Lord was his friend. Bhishma Deva takes this opportunity to address the Lord as Vijay Sakhe, friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees who are related with him in different transcendental humors. While Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna, sun rays glittered on the dress of the Lord, and the beautiful hue created by the reflection of such rays was never forgotten by Bhishma Deva. As a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna in the chivalrous humor. Transcendental relation with the Lord in any one of the different rasas or humors is relishable by the respective devotees in the highest ecstasy. Uh, Less intelligent mundaners who want to make a show of being transcendentally related with the Lord artificially jump at once to the relation of conjugal love, imitating the damsels of Vrajadama. Such a cheap relation with the Lord exhibits only the base mentality of the mundaner because who is because one who has relished conjugal humor with the Lord cannot be attached to worldly conjugal rasa, which is condemned even by mundane ethics. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved. A genuine relation of the living being with the Supreme Lord can take any form out of the five principal rasas, and it does not make any difference in transcendental degree to the genuine devotee. Bhishma Deva is a concrete example of this, and it should be carefully observed how the great general is transcendentally related with the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Antaji. Thank you so much. Yeah, so very beautiful. I mean, can you imagine how poetically he's singing the prayers on the deathbed, on the arrows? Can you imagine, right? If anybody else was in his place, probably I don't think he would have even spoken, right? We wouldn't have spoken even. But see him, he's describing the beauty of the Lord. And forget about that, like in the battlefield, while the war was happening, he is observing the glittering yellow dress of the Lord. Can you imagine? Right? In the war field, everybody is fighting. God knows when who will attack us. Right? We are so scared. But he is observing the glittering yellow dress of the Lord. He is observing, the sandalwood pulp. Can you imagine? Right? And he's describing all that. After later when he was on his when he's on the deathbed. Right? So it's very beautiful. Mm. So Bhishma Dev talks about the beauty of the Lord, how beautiful the Lord is. Right? Well, give me a moment. So here Bhishma Dev talks about the beauty of the Lord, right? How beautiful the Lord is, despite the wounds, despite the blood, right? Despite the sweat on his face, despite the dust sitting on his head, I mean hair, right? He's covered completely. His dress has become so dirty. Still, it is glittering in the sun, right? So Bhishma Dev is explaining all this. So regarding Krishna's beauty, the same verse, similar verse is there, right, in Damodarashtakam. What does it say? Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilair vritam kuntalai snigdha raktaischa gopya mohushchumbitam bimba raktadaram me manasya virastam malam lakshalabhai. O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. Can you imagine? Bhishmadev also says the same thing. Let this form of yours, Krishna, be there in my heart and mind all the time. Let me not desire any fruitive result or any other, material desires or results. I do not want them. I just want to see this, face of yours, this beautiful face of yours, the beautiful form of yours. Right? That's why we say, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. Always let the vision or the beautiful form of Lord Jagannath be there in my vision. Let me see nothing else, right? Let my vision not get not have anything else in my vision. Let me only keep seeing Jagannath, right? Same way, there's another shloka in Damodar Ashtakam that says, Varam Deva Moksham na Moksha Vadim. I don't want moksham. I don't want any money or any higher planetary system, promotion to higher planetary system or heaven or anything. I don't want any demigod position. I don't want anything. I don't even want moksha, liberation. What I want, let idam te, just the form of the Lord, just that form, let it just be there in my heart, right? So here also look at the beauty of the Lord. That's why Prabhupada says in the pulpit, once you understand the real conjugal rasa with the Lord, right, or understand the madhurya bhav, the gopi bhav, how gopis loved the Lord, how Radharani loved the Lord, once you understand that, how the queens of Dwarka loved the Lord, you will become least interested in the material conjugal relationships. As in, without proper understanding, people who read 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, they compare it all with the mundane love, what they see around, right? That is absolutely nonsense, actually, right? So that's what Prabhupada is saying. If you read systematically Srimad Bhagavatam from the right sources, if you hear it, then you will constantly understand. You will ultimately lose interest in mundane love relationships, and rather you will become a fan completely. You will completely get engrossed in the Gopi Bhav, or Radha Krishna's Madhurya Leela, right? So here also describes the beautiful face of the Lord, right? So the Lord's face is, he's a kid. He's just little Krishna, right? Damodar form, which has curly hair. Krishna has long curly hair, and he has, like how we have fringes, right? Nowadays we say fringes. So he had similarly, locks of soft black hair around his ears, right, and forehead region, and it was all tinged with red, kumkum, right? And so Yashoda Mata is kissing him again and again, his hair, his face, his cheeks, right? And his lips are reddish like bimba tree, right? How we have in the puppet, I mean, in the Bhishma Dev also says, your complexion is just like a tamala tree, right? Tamala tree has this bluish black complexion, right? And Krishna also has the same bluish black complexion, similar complexion, right? Here his lips are being described. His lips are just like the bimba fruit. Bimba fruit is very red. Okay, his lips are also like that. And this vision, when you understand this vision of the Lord, or when you see this form of the Lord, when you reach the level of appreciating this form of the Lord, everything beautiful in this mundane world is not really beautiful. Trust me, you will lose interest in all that, right? And you will yearn, you will long for something transcendently beautiful, right? Something very, very transcendently beautiful. Not all these things. See, this is the form of the Lord. This complexion is exactly similar to the Tamala tree's complexion, or the color of the tamala tree. It's exactly like that. Newly born monsoon cloud, right? It's not newly born monsoon cloud is not completely gray or black, but it's little bluish, right? Bluish tinges there. So his body is just like this, bluish black or bluish gray, right? Can you imagine the pitambara, right? The color of his dress, and the garlands made with different patterns from forest flowers, right? The gopas and the gopis. Gopas used to decorate him when they used to go for grazing the cows, right? They used to say, simply, take forest flower and decorate him. Sometimes gopis used to make garlands and decorate him, and then send him to the forest, right? Can you imagine? I mean, so beautiful Krishna is that I think I've told you this before. Yashoda Mata decorated Krishna, okay, in the morning, and then she went in to get something, and Krishna went near the mirror and he saw himself. He was a kid that time. That was the first time he looked into the mirror. He saw into the mirror and he was stunned. He was like, who is this so beautiful? He didn't even know how beautiful he is. Right? He was mesmerized. He was just shocked for hours together. He just stared at the mirror. And Yashoda Mata and everybody just started staring at Krishna. They started staring at Krishna staring at himself, right? Can you imagine? So he didn't even know how beautiful he is, the jewelry and everything. It is said that Krishna was decorated with so many jewels. His mother used to decorate him, that when he used to go to steel butter, right? It was dark. When it was dark, gopis used to turn on all the lights, all the diyas and everything, and they used to go so that Krishna won't come and steal. Still, the radiation from the jewels, right? The jewelry would radiate light, and with that, because all gold jewelry and polished, right? So that would radiate light, and that alone would, make way for him. And it's actually said that in the purport, it is said that it's not actually the light coming out from the jewelry, it's the Brahma Jyoti, light coming out from the body of the Lord, the Tejas, right? We say, or the glow, the effulgence. It's actually Brahma Jyoti, but just to, it's Yoga Maya, right? Just covering off the Lord's lordly potency. It is just said, or he says, no, no, I'm decorated with jewels. No, so it's all light coming out from my jewels. It is reflecting, and it is making the way. So actually, what happened? Yashoda Mata, gopis go and say, Yashoda Mata, remove all the jewels. Don't put him any jewels, because with the jewelry he's stealing the butter and all that, right? That is the kind of pleasure Krishna used to give to all the gopis and Rajavasis. Every day there was a new thing for them to talk about. Entire day they would talk about Krishna. He did this today. They had nothing else to talk about. They had nobody else to talk about. Morning till evening, whatever they do, they used to talk about only Krishna, think about Krishna, do things for Krishna. Even in the sleep, they used to get Krishna only in the dream, because they had no other world. They had no other world at all, right? Who will not think about this beautiful form? Just imagine, right? Just imagine. Nobody will. No, right? We get darshan pictures every day, right? Giridhar Prabhu posts, and I just open it and I keep seeing until I fall asleep. I keep seeing the pictures. So beautifully it's decorated, right? They look so beautiful. Radha Krishna, the deities look so beautiful. How can we even think of seeing something else? That's why that captivated Bhishma Dev in the middle of the war. In the middle of the war, how can you lose your mind upon Krishna or anything, right? Anybody looking at the beauty of that person. If it was an ordinary mundane person, definitely not. Because Krishna is all attractive, he just captured like a magnet, he attracted Bhishma's mind, right? And all day Bhishma was just looking at the Lord, and even in the war, right? Love of the devotees seen in Krishna. Exactly, love of the devotees seen in Krishna, right? And then he goes on to explain, right, the beads of sweat that decorates the Lord's forehead, and entire face and his body full of wounds, right? So any mundaner reading this chapter, okay, how would they understand, and how would devotees understand this? Because we are devotees and we have what is called as, such beautiful purports to explain, Srila Prabhupada explaining to us, we are understanding this is the exchange between Bhishma Dev, and this is love exchange between Bhishma Dev and Krishna. But if a mundaner was reading this before, without all these purports and any proper background understanding or knowledge, they would think, how can Bhishma Dev wound Krishna like this? Right? That's why Prabhupada says Bhishma Dev was worshipping the Lord in chivalrous ras or virya ras, right? With fight also you can worship the Lord, right? So when Krishna wanted to fight, I think we discussed last class, right? When he had that desire, that urge to fight, right? So he made Jayavidai get cursed, come to earth and become demon so that Krishna can fight, right? So same way, so Jayavijay came down just to satisfy Krishna's desire to fight. So he made up that story. It was all Krishna making up that story of Kumara's cursing Jaya Vijay and all that. But it was actually Krishna's desire to fight. And whatever Krishna wants to do, he will do it only with his pure devotees, not with anybody else. Not with anybody else. Okay? Only with his pure devotees. So he makes his devotees demons when Krishna wants to fight, and that's how he exchanges his rasa. All his desires will be fulfilled only through his devotees, nobody else. Okay, so that's how now even Jambavanta we have example, right? When Krishna wanted to steal, Krishna wanted to go search for Shamantak Mani, right? So Jambavanta had taken it, right? So he fought years together. They both fought, but Jambavanta is a devotee. He's a pure devotee. So Krishna wanted pleasure in fighting, so he made his devotee fight with him. Same way Krishna wants pleasure in fighting, as in, in Virya Ras. So he fought with Bhishma Dev. So Bhishma Dev just became an instrument in desiring, fulfilling the desires of the Lord. So chivalrous ras is also a kind of rasa through which we can worship the Lord. There are 5 primary rasas, right? Shantadasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. But along with that, there are secondary rasas also. 4 secondary, yeah, there are totally 12 rasas, right? So 5 and another 7 normal rasas we have. In that, Virya rasa is also one of the rasas, right? Or chivalrous bhav. You can fight with the Lord, and suppose he desires, then we can fight with the Lord and also serve the Lord. So Bhishma Dev is on a highest platform. He's one of the Ashtavasus, right? 8 Vasus. He's one of the Vasus. He's a pure, pure, pure devotee of the Lord, right? So he knows how to satisfy the Lord. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Krishna gives us instructions internally as Chaitya Guru through the heart, right? If you how you can reach him, or how you can serve him, satisfy him, right? So Bhishma Dev knows very well the position of the Lord. He never knew, he's not like others, right? Who thought, okay, Krishna is just an ordinary person. No, he's not belonging to that category. Bhishma Dev is a pure devotee. He knows who is Krishna. He knows Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So he fought with him as a matter of duty and devotional service only, not with anger or anything. Both of them, Bhishma and Krishna, were getting intense pleasure, happiness while they were fighting. That's why Bhishma Dev was noting down each and every small detail of Krishna, every minute detail. The way dust was sitting on the hair of the Lord, the beads of sweat. Can you imagine? On the deathbed, he's becoming poetic also, right? How sweat was, sitting on the forehead of the Lord, right? And in the hot sun, this dress was glittering, and wound is considered to be decorations for the Lord. Can you imagine? And even Krishna says the sharp arrows are like, the how we throw, how we offer petals, right? Rose petals during worship. It is like that. The sharp arrows which Bhishma Dev was throwing at the Lord are just like rose petals. Rose petals. Can you imagine? Right? It's said over here. The arrow you can see, right? All the sharp arrows are just like rose petals which we offer during the worship of the Lord. And beads of sweat and wound, everything is just decoration. Vishnudev says all these things are just adding to the decorated Lord, or Lord is already decorated, and these things are just adding to it. So, yeah, coming to how can we serve the Lord in chivalrous ras, as in hurting him and all that? It's not hurting. It's just the leela happening. It's the exchange of love. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the arrows and the wound and everything was like love bite, it seems. Can you imagine? Right? If Krishna had Madhurya Leela with any one of the gopis or anyone devotee, or his wife, queen, and everything, right? So how they give him love bite? Similarly, was Bhishma Dev's arrows or fighting. Can you imagine? How he's comparing, right? So that means it was on that level. It was on Madhurya level. Krishna was getting intense pleasure out of it, right? So what is happening here in the first picture? Who knows? Who is this? Who is this?
Shabari Mata giving fruits to Lord Rama and Lakshman. Hare Krishna
Yeah.
Mata.
Hare Krishna. Shabri is giving fruits to Rama and Lakshman, right? So what kind of fruits is she giving? Are they clean fruits?
No, Mataji, she's biting and checking whether it is sweet,
Yeah.
and then only she is offering it.
Yeah. So it is wrong, no? It is wrong, no? We cannot give bitten fruits like that. It has our saliva. Krishna is the enjoyer. He should be eating it first. It's right or wrong?
Wrong, Mataji.
Wrong? How many of you say it's wrong? Raise your hands.
Mataji, it's the love and the emotion which the Lord sees rather than it's you know tasted or not.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Reka Mataji, you wanna add anything?
Yeah, it is a bhav that with lot of love and with bhav is giving the food to God. No? So,
Exactly. So I was hearing a lecture, one of the senior Vaishnavas, okay, very, very senior Vaishnavas. You know what they said? It seems that Shabri Mata did not give him salivated fruits. She did not give him only salivated fruits. Why? You know what happened when she was tasting the fruit, right? When she put it in her mouth, because she was all the time constantly saying Rama, Rama, Rama. She was waiting, no, for Ram to meet him and to feed him and all that. She was waiting for Ram from a very, very long time, right? She was waiting for a very long time, and she was constantly saying Ram, 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 Ram. And since she was chanting in Shuddhanam stage, okay, the moment you say Ram, Ram comes on your tongue and dances. If you chant Shuddhanam, okay, and she was on that stage, right? Because Lord's holy name she is chanting in Shuddhanam stage, Lord Ram was present there in the form of his holy name on her tongue. And when she put the fruits on her tongue, it seems that the holy name of the Lord, or the Nama Prabhu, right? The Lord in the form of the holy name accepted the fruits first. She did not accept it. She did not eat it. She actually fed it to the holy name of the Lord. And because Lord is also Abhinatva Nama Namine, the name of the Lord and the form of the Lord are not different, right? Krishna already accepted it on her tongue itself. And when she took it out, it was already prasadam. And she just, for the sake of offering, she offered it to the physical form of Ram, right? So actually Ra already accepted when she fed it on her tongue itself. Why? Because of her, as you all told, the bhav, the intention, the that prema she had, right? Love is all that the Lord sees, not anything else, right? Love is all that the Lord sees. So that's why Bhishma Dev, that's why Krishna could see Bhishma Dev's arrows as petals, rose petals. Otherwise, why would he see them as rose petals? Because Krishna extracts the love, the intention that you have behind what you do, not what you're doing, right? Not what you're doing, it is the intention. What is your intention? You might be chanting also, but if your intention is wrong, if you're chanting for some karma kanda activity, right? Oh, I want job, so I'm chanting, then how is that bhakti? Even if you're chanting, Krishna will not look at you. Okay, you might say, oh, I'm chanting, I'm reading, I'm doing bhakti sadhana, everything, but you will not not to please the Lord. But if you're doing, even if Shabri is offering salivated fruits, it is still accepted as supreme bhakti because of her intention, love, Shuddha. That's why the Lord accepted the fruits in the form of holy name when she put it into her tongue. Right? That is how the Lord is. That's how merciful. And this Vidura story we all know. And Vidura's story we all know, right? Vidura's wife, how he served the peel, right? Anybody explains the story? Anybody? No one knows?
Mataji, may
Mataji,
I?
Vidura. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mataji.
anyone, anybody. Yes, Ramya Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji. So with Krishna visits Vidura's home, and his wife is a strong devotee of Lord Krishna, and she was seeing Krishna for the first time, and she was really really happy to receive Krishna at her home, and she was just admiring his beauty, and he came as an atiti to her home. She was actually offering. Vidura was not there at home at that point of time, so she was actually wanted to offer banana to Krishna, and uh, just she was just so. Like completely immersed by looking into Krishna, she forgot what she is offering also. Instead of offering the banana, she started offering the banana peels. And Krishna was also eating, and that is when Vidura actually entered, and he was surprised to see that Krishna was actually eating the banana peels. And then he actually asked, then his wife came, and she realized, and that is when Krishna was telling that the banana peels were sweeter than the fruit itself, because all that he saw was her love and devotion. So.
Haribol, exactly. See, he rejected Duryodhana's grand feast and he went to Vidura's house for the modest feast, right? Haribol, Mata.
Mhm.
Very nice. right? And he saw the love and intention, and so he said, peels are sweeter than banana itself, right? And this here, what is happening? Who is this and who is this? Anybody knows? Which Goswami is this? He's one of the Shad Goswamis of Vrindavan. No one knows?
Rupa Goswami.
No, Sanatan Goswami.
No.
Okay, so
Okay.
Sanatan Goswami, and this is Radha Madan Mohan. Okay, so Radha Madan Mohan was there. He was worshipping Radha Madan Mohan, and Sanatan Goswami is a Goswami, right? He cannot cook or anything. So whatever he gets, he does madhukari, begs whatever devotees give him, he will offer it to the Lord, and he eats, right? If so, he was there every day. He was offering dry, okay, and bland rotis, and that too hard rotis. Okay, dry, bland, and hard rotis every day. No salt, no sabji, nothing. He used to offer that to the Lord, and he used to eat it as prasadam, because they're Goswamis. They will not have nice salty and spicy food and all that, right? So every day he used to offer the same thing. Madan Mohan got angry. He was like, what is this? Every day you're offering the same boring food. I don't want this. I want nice food. You prepare nice sabji, rice, sweet, and all that, and you offer. So Sanatan Goswami, you know what he said? He started fighting with the Lord. He was like, what are you saying? I'm a Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has asked me to write scriptures, right? I cannot go and sit and cook entire day. If I have to offer you all that entire day, I'll be spending in cooking only, and I don't earn. Where will I get all those different ingredients? Whom will I go and beg all that from? And all, he started shouting at Madan Mohan. And you know, this is the kind, it's not that shouting is aparad, right? You cannot go and shout at the Lord. But they are not on the bodily platform. They are not on the sadhana platform. If we do that, it's aparad. But because they are realized, these are all Vidurani, right? Shabari, Bhishma Dev, Sanatan Goswami, these are all realized people. They are not ordinary devotees, they're pure devotees. Bhishma Dev is one of the Mahajans, one of the 12 Mahajans, right? Dwadasha Mahajan, he's one of the Mahajan. And Sanatan Goswami is Lavanga Manjari, if I'm not wrong, right? What Manjari? Yeah, Manjari. She is a Manjari from Goloka, right? In intimate Sakhi or friend of Radha Krishna, right? So they are not on our bodily platform, sadhana stage. No, they are all in prema stage, right? It is Vaidhi sadhana, Raganuga sadhana, Bhava, Prema. 4 stages are there, right? So we are in Vaidhi sadhana stage, starting stage, but they are not on Vaidhi sadhana. They are in Prema stage, not even in Bhava, right? So because of that reason, they have this kind of association where the intention is just love, nothing else. Sanatan Goswami is not angry with the Lord, right? It is just the kind of exchange that they have. A mother scolds the child, right? When the child does something wrong, a mother scolds. That doesn't mean the mother hates the child. No, mother is scolding because that's the kind of love the mother is showing at the child, right? Same way Sanatan Goswami is also saying, I'm a Goswami, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. How can I do that all to you? That's the kind of love exchange that they had, right? So krodha, right? Even anger, in anger also you can show love to the Lord. One of the rasas is, I think, bhivatsa, right? Bhivatsa is frustration and all that. You can, in that way also you can show love to the Lord. Bhivatsa ras, right? So virya ras, bhivatsa ras, hasya ras, there are so many rasas where you can show love to the Lord, and Sanatan Goswami is using that one of those rasas. Okay, so it's all provided the intention is right, it's not wrong. Whatever you do is not wrong, right? Intention should be always to please the Lord. Yeah, next. Next shloka. युदितिरगरजो विधूम्रविश्वाक् कुचलुलिताश्रमवार्यलाङ्कृतास्ये मम निशितशरैर्विभीद्यमाना त्वच विलिसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्णात्मा. Repeat after me. युदितुरगरजविधूम्रविश्वाक्
युदितो गरजो विभूप विश्व
कचलुलिताश्रमवार्यलङ्कृतास्ये
कचलुलितस्मरवार्यलङ्कृतास्ये
मम विभीद्यमाना
मम
निशितशरै विविद्यमाना
त्वचि विलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्णात्मा
त्वचि विलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्णात्मा
Hari Bol. On the battlefield where Sri Krishna attended Arjuna out of friendship, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses, and because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, were enjoyed by him. Let my mind thus go unto Lord Sri Krishna. Puppet, who wants to read? Yes, Keshav Prabhu, you wanna read?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Lord is the absolute form of eternity. The Lord is the absolute form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. As such, transcendental loving service to the Lord in one of the five principal relations, namely Shanta, Dashya, Shakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, that is, neutrality, servitorship, fraternity, paternal affection, and conjugal love, is graciously accepted by the Lord when offered to the Lord in genuine love and affection. Sri Bhishma Dev is a great devotee of the Lord in the relation of servitorship. Thus, his throwing of sharp arrows at the transcendental body of the Lord is as good as the worship of another devotee who throws soft roses upon him. It appears that Bhishma Dev is repenting the actions he committed against the person of the Lord, but factually the Lord's body was not at all pained due to his transcendental existence. His body is not matter. Both he himself and his body are complete spiritual identity. Spirit is never pierced, burnt, dried, moistened, etc. This is vividly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. So also it is stated in the Skanda Purana. It is said that there are it is said that it is said there that spirit is always uncontaminated and indestructible. It cannot be distressed nor can it be dried up. When Lord Vishnu in his incarnation appears before us, he seems to be like one of the conditioned souls, materially engaged, just to bewilder the Asuras or the non believers who are always allowed to kill the Lord, even from the very beginning of his appearance. Kamsa wanted to kill Krishna, and Ravana wanted to kill Rama, because foolishly they were unaware of the fact that the Lord is never killed, but spirit is never annihilated. Therefore, Bhishma Dev's piercing of the body of Lord Krishna is a sort of bewildering problem for the non devotee atheist. But those who are devotees or liberated souls are not bewildered. Bhishma Dev appreciated the all merciful attitude of the Lord because he did not leave Arjuna alone. Although he was disturbed by the sharpened arrows of Bhishma Dev, nor was he reluctant to come before Bhishma's deathbed, even though he was ill treated by him on the battlefield. Bhishma's repentance and the Lord's merciful attitude are both unique in this picture. Sri Vishwanath, Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, a great acharya and a devotee in the humor of conjugal love with the Lord, remarks very saliently in this regard. He says that the wounds created on the body of the Lord by sharpened arrows of Bhishma Dev were as pleasing to the Lord as the biting of a fiancé who bites the Lord's body directed by a strong sense of sex desire. Such biting, such biting by the opposite sex is never taken as a sign of enmity, even if there is a wound on the body. Therefore, the fighting as an exchange of transcendental pleasure between the Lord and his pure devotees, Sri Bhishma Dev, is not at all mundane. Besides that, since the Lord's body and the Lord are identical, there was no possibility of wounds in the absolute body. The apparent wounds caused by the sharpened arrows are misleading to the common man. But one who has a little absolute knowledge can understand the transcendental exchange in the chivalrous relation. The Lord was perfectly happy with the wounds caused by the sharpened arrows of Bhishma Dev. The word Vibhyamana is significant because the Lord's skin is not different from the Lord, because our skin is different from our soul. In our case, the word Vibhyamana, or being bruised and cut, would have been quite suitable. Transcendental bliss is of different varieties, and the variety of activities in the mundane world is but a perverted reflection of transcendental bliss. Because everything in the mundane world is qualitatively mundane, it is full of inebriaties, whereas in the absolute realm, because everything is of the same absolute nature, there are varieties of enjoyment without inebriety. The Lord enjoyed the wounds created by his great devotee Bhishma Dev, and because Bhishma Dev is a devotee in the chivalrous relation, he fixes up his mind on Krishna in that wounded condition. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So everything is very clearly explained, just what we discussed only, right? So the wounds are not, wounds made of enmity or something. It's out of love, right? He's worshipping the Lord in chivalrous form, so it is accepted, because the law and the wounds are not going to hurt the Lord in any way, right? Because Krishna is absolute, and his everything related to him is also absolute, and he doesn't have the body that we have, right? Our body is made up of the five gross elements, right? The pancha mahabhutas, right? The earth, water, air, fire, ether, and all that. But Krishna's body is not made up of that. He is atma maya. Krishna comes down through his internal potency, so his form is spiritual, transcendental. How like Prabhupada explains over here, right? Our body is different from our soul, so we have the bruises and all that, but Krishna's body is the same as his soul, right? Spiritual body, so he will not get hurt, right? So that's why he also talks about this word Vibhidyamana, significant because Lord's skin is not different from the Lord, but for us it's different, so we have the chances of getting hurt and everything. That is one reason why mundaners will think, oh, Bhishma Dev is doing something wrong by hitting him and all. No, he's not going to get hurt at all, right? It's the love that they are exchanging through this way, right? So love can happen in many ways, right? Prabhupada says in many somewhere over here, right? Yeah, exchange of transcendental Lord, pleasure is of different varieties. Yeah, right? Transcendental bliss is of different varieties. And one of the varieties is this Virya Ras as well. But if you compare that with the mundane world, then it becomes perverted reflection, right? So here, if you do that, then it is perverted reflection. So the way we understand will change immediately, because there is body involved, right? It's not the soul, it is the body involved in the material world. But in the spiritual world, there is no body at all. There's no question of body, because it is the soul that is involved all the time. Everything is spiritual there, right? That is the inebriety that Prabhupada is talking about. It's full of inebrities, right? Yeah, so the Lord enjoyed the wounds. He did not get angry or anything. He enjoyed the wounds. Okay, so it was giving pleasure to him. Pleasure means devotion service. So what was Bhishma Dev even doing in the form of war and fighting and all? Bhishma Dev was offering devotion service to the Lord. He was actually comforting the Lord through the fighting and everything. Right. So even though he was ill treated by him on the battlefield, can you imagine? Bhishma Dev is showing a lot of gratitude to the Lord, because he's saying, I was reluctant. Krishna so mercifully came in front of Bhishma Dev's deathbed, despite of Bhishma Dev's ill treatment for the Lord. Right? He threw arrows and all that, right, at the Lord. So Bhishma Dev is saying, I did all that still Krishna has mercifully come with those wounds in that bleeding condition, in the Parthasarathi form. He's standing right before me. Can you imagine? Right? So this is Bhishma Dev's repentance and Lord's merciful attitude, and both are unique. They are transcendental. We cannot understand between a devotee and Krishna what is happening. Right? Another person, especially we who are half-baked devotees, we cannot understand. We cannot understand. Right? Only pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada can make us understand to some extent. Okay? So that's why purports are very important. We need to understand. Yeah. So that's all. It's very easy and very detailedly explained. Anybody wants to add anything to this verse? Nothing? Next verse we will continue in the next class. Anybody wants to quote anything or any experiences you want to talk about? Because this is something which is beyond our even, it cannot even happen to us in our daily life, right? We cannot throw arrows at the Lord. So this is beyond our understanding. So any notes or any feedback or any inputs? Yes, Keshav Prabhu.
Mataji, as like you say, half-baked devotee, right? Even though we realize that we cannot, you know, be angry with the Lord, or we cannot, throw arrows at the Lord, by our words and our actions, sometimes we do. Like we go to the temple and we pray. Of course, we are not supposed to, think of the results of our prayers. If Krishna wants to give, he'll give. If he doesn't want to give, he won't give. But we still do, no, Mataji. So how can we avoid that? How can we avoid, shouting at the Lord or being angry with the Lord for not listening to us?
That's why I said we are half baked, right? There is me, my, and mine factor, right? That's why we get angry. If something that you want is not happening, you go pray and still it is not happening. We sometimes we get tend to get angry, right? Why? Because that me, mine, and my factor is there. If you transform that to he, his, and him, then this thing will not happen, right? When will we transform that? Only when we become full devotees, right? Right now we are half. So that comes only with sadhana and sincere efforts. Sincere efforts has to be there. Not like, okay, I'm doing my sadhana and on the other side, see, we are doing our sadhana morning, okay, and on the other side, rest of the day, oh, me, mine, and mine. Why this is not happening? Why want it to happen like this? I need, mine, right? All that. He's not listening to me. She is not listening to me. The moment that happens, what happens? Then you are doing one side sadhana, at the same time you are adding all impurities to it. Like you wash some vessel and you start adding impurities to it, right? Then again you have to wash and you're not getting the complete benefit. This comes with mercy. We have to pray to the Lord. Recite Kunti Stuti if possible every day in the morning, right? Mukundamala Stotra is there. Guru Kripa Bindu Diya, right? So recite, beg for the mercy. That begging session has to happen with the Lord every day. Nitai and Gauranga, right? Gaur Nitai, we have to have those pictures in front of us, right? Or in front of the altar. Sit and cry, cry, cry. Say that I'm not able to purify myself after all this, right? I want to serve you with pure love. I want to become a pure devotee. I want Krishna Prem, but it's not happening because of my own inefficiencies and problems. So you need to cry. Krishna knows what are your problems, but you need to tell him in order to establish a connection and beg. Show Krishna that you want to change. Right? That is going to happen only by begging and crying, and then by doing Vaishnava Seva. Okay, by doing either Vani Seva or Vapu Seva. Any senior Vaishnava, please do the Seva. Okay, they should be senior and pure devotees. When you serve them, then what happens? Like it's given, right? To devotees who are lower than your level, you have to encourage them, be very kind to them, and push them. Elevate them in Krishna consciousness. Devotees who are higher to you, you have to serve them. Serve them as much as possible. Devotees on the same level with you, you have to make them your best friends and help each other grow together. So if you do this along with the begging, then we will progress in we will have some kind of considerable progress. We will be able to see it ourselves. Okay. Hare Krishna. I think that answered.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, can you also post the links to the prayers that you mentioned, Mataji?
Yeah. Okay, sure. I'll post. Okay, we will slowly get to higher stage, Prabhu. It is okay. Krishna knows our sincerely. Yeah, Krishna knows. Right? We have the right to pray, not to force. Exactly. Beg, cry. Do not go and authoritatively say, you didn't do this. I asked you to do this. No. Krishna is not our order carrier. We are his order carrier. Right? Seeing the sincerity, Krishna will melt. But we need to show him that sincerity, right? That is on us. Yeah. Anybody else wants to add anything? Yes, Mega Mataji.
Right? Like for how long, right? I'm trying for so. I mean, it's not like that, but I have an ISKCON temple here in Mira Road in Mumbai. I always go. Sometimes I go even in the house. I pray for something. I want one thing desperately from him, but I don't know. For past 3 years, I'm trying, but I don't know why he's not listening to my prayers. Then sometimes it's like benefit of doubt. Why is it so, Mataji? How long will he test our patience?
So, Mataji, what you're praying for, if it is a material thing for your enjoyment, then
No,
it
no,
will
it's not
be.
for my enjoyment as such, but
Huh.
I have a daughter. I want to get her married. I don't know. I was
Oh.
trying for last three
Hmm.
years, but I don't know. Nothing is happening as yet. So there should be some time limit, right, Mataji? I don't know why, but
How do
I'm
I
so
answer this?
yeah.
See, Gauranga Darshan Das, Prabhuji, he explains this in a beautiful way. He says, Krishna will definitely guide you to the right source at the right time. So it's better to wait for the right person to love than to love the wrong person.
Okay.
So Krishna has something in store for your daughter that is greater than what you are wishing for.
Oh, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. But
I
why, Mataji? Because there are other people who are telling us n number of things. You have to do this, Kumbha Vivaha with Vishnuji. You have to do this, that, that. I'm not listening to all these things. Of course, I'm only believing in Krishna.
Hmm.
Uh, that time, there's it comes, like why should I mean, there are so many people who are telling us when we show the horoscope, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I don't know why my daughter doesn't listen to all these things. She says, no, Krishna will help me, and I'm sure something good will happen. But then as a mother, I don't know why I feel why Krishna is taking so long. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your answer.
Yeah, as Prabhu said, see, Krishna knows the right time, and maybe some past karma is there, right? So if your daughter is a devotee of the Lord and she's having so much faith in the Lord, Krishna will definitely not, stay without helping. He will help, but that right time has to come, Mataji. You wait, Shanai Shanai, there's a shloka which says, step by step, you have to wait, have patience, dhairya has to be there. Then Krishna will definitely bless. Okay, so try getting her married to a devotee so that both of them can offer devotion service together, and Krishna will speed up the process. He wants service, right, from us. If you are willing to get her married to a devotee and continue her, spiritual progress that way, then Krishna
Yes.
will also eagerly start helping, right?
Okay, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we can all chant for Mataji. Yeah,
Thank you, Mataji.
can we all chant once Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Please
Mataji.
unmute. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Hare,
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 Hare
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 Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare.
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare.
Krishna.
Okay, any other questions?
Mataji,
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
one more thing. I want to add willing to cook prasadam.
Huh, tell me.
I want to learn. Anybody can post the link or something. Or
Prasad?
alternate days. Krishna prasadam.
Huh.
Cooking.
Prabhuji, I can
Cooking,
share a screen.
Satvik cooking
Link.
classes, no, happening. I think Saturdays it happens.
Saturday. Okay, what? I
It
link.
happens,
Link in it in that.
sure, but we used to have Satvik cooking classes. But
Okay.
I
otherwise
don't think
we can post other things,
Uh,
other cooking
Okay.
things.
Okay, other day program anything, no problem. Even link I can make use of.
Yeah, sure. We will find out something and we will give it to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Good cooking, man.
Yeah.
Mataji, Keshav Prabhuji also wanted to share his experience.
Add
Mataji.
that.
So Keshav Prabhuji is also cooking for Krishna. He's also doing kitchen seva too, so he can share his experiences, recipes, and so on for you.
See, the first thing we have to know is, what kind of, food it is that Krishna likes. Okay. So,
Very
he-
small things.
yeah,
Little.
even if it is a little dish, one of the, smallest dishes that you're cooking for Krishna, the first rule is to pray to Radha Rani saying, see, I'm cooking for Krishna. You have to help me. This has to come out good. Okay. Definitely she'll listen because she doesn't want to, make anyone take half cooked food or half baked food to Krishna. So she'll help. Secondly, Prabhuji, my experience in cooking, see, I grew up in a very different household. I grew up a Christian. So for me, vegetarian food was something of, a once in a blue moon thing. Now every day I'm eating veg food that sometimes I get confused. Oh man, today what do I cook for the Lord? Like, I don't know to make anything. And that's when I discovered, the power of the internet and how Krishna will point us in the right direction of what he wants to eat for that day. So you start simple, Prabhuji. It's not very hard. Like when I was called first to the kitchen to cook something for the Lord, I was here scratching my head and I'm thinking, will it come out good? Will it come out good? Will it come out good? And I was not making anything great or, something very special. It was a simple sandwich, but I don't have experience even in doing that. But when I made it and I offered it to the Lord, and then, I gave it as prasadam to the devotees, the feedback they gave me the confidence, that if Krishna wants you to actually make prasadam for him, he will itself come down and stand by you and supervise. So the power of prayer in making prasadam or making bhog to offer to the Lord is very, very great. And if you always have a doubt, right, just go back and see step by step if you have done everything correctly. At the end of the day, Krishna will, accept even if it is, something really small. He will accept, like the story of Vidura's wife we just heard. She was, serving him banana peels. All that matters is, that love and devotion, Prabhuji. If you want, what I can do is I have a set of simple recipes which, I make at home to offer to the Lord because after initiation, it's important that we offer the Lord Hoga at least once a day. So I have a set of recipes from Yamuna Devidasi. I can share that in the group at a later point of time once I find it on my laptop.
Hare Krishna. Yeah,
So,
thank you. That will be of great help. Hare Krishna. Yeah, any other questions or anything else anybody wants to discuss?
Mataji,
Yeah.
I'm visiting Jaipur this Thursday to visit the three idols which Vajranama has made, Krishna's grandson, in
Okay.
Jaipur.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, you must be aware, Mataji.
Yeah, also there's
That is,
Dev also, no?
they are
In
gone from Vrindavan to Jaipur, na?
Yeah.
So, during Mughal Empire times.
Yeah.
So,
Very
yeah, I'm just,
temple.
yeah,
Yeah, you can visit. Very nice.
yeah.
There's
Thank
a
you, Mataji.
Pushkar temple also. There's only one Brahma temple in India, in
Yeah,
Jaipur.
but no, it is in this, na?
Pushkar, no, if you're going to Jaipur,
Pushkar.
so it's,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
just going to Jaipur, Prabhuji.
so if you wish to, it's between Jaipur and Ajmer, very close. So
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
Pushkar
Yeah.
Kund also. So there, if you wish to do a puja, it's also said to be very auspicious.
Okay, Prabhuji, okay.
Very nice. Have a nice
Thank you,
day.
Mataji.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you. Hare Krishna. I'll pray for all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Pray for all our
Yeah,
spiritual
thank
people.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Mataji,
Sure,
it,
sure.
it actually comes to me. There's one story on the Bhishma wala piece. Should I just highlight?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So, Mataji, here when you talked about it, suddenly remembered when Lord Krishna went to Bhishma when he was lying on the bow, the entire arrows bed. Bhishma asked Krishna, saying that what have I done wrong so drastically that this is my state and I am actually on so many arrows. So Krishna tells him that he actually gives him the vision, saying go to previous birth. So he takes him to almost 70 plus births, where when he was a child he started poking with an arrow in the insect's eyes and he killed a lot of insects. And because of which in the current bit he was paying the entire repentance of those particular bit after 70 births. And then he asked Krishna, then why it took 70 births for me to be in that particular bit? He's saying you are a very religious person. All your life of the births what you've done, you actually chanted and you did good things. It is in this janma that you've taken a wrong side. You were onto the Kauravas which were on the adharm side. It is where all your old bad karmas have come in, and this is the year of repentance, and you are actually cleaning your karma in with this particular piece. Hare Krishna.
I think this comes in Bhagavatam, right? If I'm not wrong, it's kind of Upakatha. What's the source?
Mataji, I've heard this, so I thought to share with the group.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't know the source.
yeah. Even I heard this in one of the lectures. I heard this, but I was not sure if it was pertaining to Bhishma Dev or some other Muni. It is said very clearly. He was trying to poke, yeah, like you said, the insect, and that's why he's
Yeah,
it back and he's on the arrows. It's just karma returning to him. Yeah.
correct.
Mataji,
Same
it
is
is
with no
Dhritarashtra, na?
Dhritarashtra's.
It is
No,
Dhritarashtra
Dhritarashtra
killed
is
the
is
birds. That's why he got
yeah, but
blind.
he
All this
he
comes in Bhagavatam Upakathas, actually. Yeah.
yes, I guess so. So he actually lit fire to the tree where there were almost 100 odd birds, and because of which he's got 100 kids on that particular bit, something of that sort.
Something of that sort. Yeah.
And that's where he lost all the bits because those were like birds,
Hmm.
and the birds got killed, and all his sons got killed in the Mahabharata war.
Very nice. Thank you for the story, Prabhu. That
And
Bhishma.
because Mataji, and why there was a reason why he was blind, because he lit fire and he saw all the birds burning and he was laughing in this whole bit, because of which he was a blind. He couldn't see because of that wrong karma.
So he saw them, dying, so he got blind.
Yes.
Oh, nice. See, karma just coming back,
Hmm.
right? So we have to be
Indeed,
very
indeed.
careful with what we do. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you said about a book, Bhagavatam Upakada. Is that available in Vedabase?
I have no idea. My mother usually tells me all these stories, and in one of the lectures, I heard the story.
No,
No, in
but you
which
can
lecture?
check it on Prabhupada.com.
I'll have to
It's
Sorry,
check.
Can
there.
you
sir.
please repeat, Prabhuji? I did not hear. Hare Krishna.
It's not in Veda-based Mataji, but if you search in Prabhupada Vani, these in the lectures, Prabhupada mentions all these stories. So it's even NND Prabhuji in one of the recent class was speaking about this particular pastime or
Yeah,
story.
he was talking about Dhritarashtra pastime and Bhishma
Yeah.
Dev story that Kamlesh Prabhu told. I heard it in one of Maharaj's lecture. So I think, yeah, as Prabhu said, maybe they are in.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Another thing is, Mataji, you said something about time, right? How will we know it's the right time? Like, because Prabhupada said, don't believe in astrology or horoscopes and things like that. Whatever Krishna wills will happen. So, how do we know when the time is right? Like, something is going to happen for us. How do we know that?
I didn't get your question. Can you repeat?
Okay, so astrologers and people who read horoscopes, all this will say, so you're having so and so bad time, that's why things are not happening for you. You must do this, you must do that, right? But at the same time, the founding Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, has said you shouldn't believe too much in horoscope and astrology and all this. Whatever Krishna wills will happen for you. So how do we know that something good is going to happen and when it will happen now? How Krishna is going to make it happen?
Why do we have to know whether good is happening or bad is happening? Like Prahlad Maharaj, right? Why do we have to know even? We just have to engage ourselves in devotional service and have faith that if something bad is going to happen, Krishna will protect us from it. Right? That's it. No need to overthink and see, or planning, do sorts of planning and think, okay, this will happen now, this might happen at this time. Why do you have to take all that in your mind and, burden your mind? Like, that is my opinion. Rather, just offer devotion service. Let whatever happen. That's it. That's all Krishna's will. That's my answer. Anybody wants to add anything? That's only called surrender, no? Krishna says, give your worries to me. Surrender unto me. Right? So let's not take it upon ourselves. We are not the doers. Krishna is the doer. Okay? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll end then. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय शिला प्रपात की जय हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू ऑल फॉर जॉइनिंग
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Mataji, Hare Krishna,
हरे
Dandavat
कृष्णा
Pranam.